Hey guys, Thomas Asula Jr. here, aka Mustached Tom, with my review of The Final Girls. So, in this movie, we have a young girl named Max who's with her mother in this car, and they drive off, and she's celebrating with her mother about going somewhere. And then they get in a car accident, and then her mother unfortunately passes away. And then a few years pass, and then this group of her friends come together and they decide to watch a cult classic horror movie that her mother was a part of. Uh, uh, and this guy, I don't know, I remember his name, but he kind of like said that there was gonna be like this incentive or whatever, so they go see the movie. And then this whole fire thing starts, and the main character Max goes through the theater, and then they appear back through the movie, which was kind of fascinating how they did this. So the characters have to go through the entire movie of this whole classic thing, and they're in the present day. So it was so interesting to see these current characters having to deal with these sort of classic characters, and if they did something wrong, it could easily just keep looping back to the previous scene that they just went through. So they had to go through some of the scenes, and then the horror of this fake Jason looking killer comes around and kills them. Uh, and I gotta say, the way they do some of these things, like there's this whole thing with the flashback after they learn that the killer's there, and everyone uh, kind of starts to become aware. The killer, once he's mentioned, they go through this black and white filter to represent a flashback, and the characters that are in present day actually like phase through into the black and white, so they're constantly moving through this movie. It was so interesting how this was done, and surprisingly, the characters, you kind of sympathized with the main character in this movie, which is something I haven't seen in a horror movie in such a long time. It is so great to see another movie come out this year that's actually a good horror film. Fuck The Visit. Fuck that movie. This is the movie you should watch. Funny, scary, me. I mean, if you're into the whole concept of going back through time, you'll really enjoy this movie. I really enjoyed this movie. The ending was particularly strong as Max once again tries to save her mother, and she seems to not be able to get through to her, but Max powers up like most classic vintage horror main character kind of thing, and she battles with the main bad guy and gets his head cut off. But unfortunately, when she wakes and she sees all her friends are alive, they realize that they have to now go through the sequel, which is the end of this movie. I just found myself so pleasantly surprised by how they were able to pull off mixing together two different worlds, also mixing in the classic horror that if you were a kid you'd probably be terrified of it, uh, with modern day stuff. It was actually a really fun movie to watch from beginning to end. I never felt like this is getting boring like The Visit. This is how you do comedy horror the right way. So that's why I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. I really think that this is the comedy horror of the best comedy horror like in a while, and really legitimately got me to laugh. got, well, I'm like, it's really hard to scare me, but whatever. So with that being said, this has been Thomas Sasula Jr., aka Mustache Tom, and I'll see you guys next time.